Hey guys, it's me, Christina. So I have a book review of A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, and this book is so amazing. I loved A Court of Thorns and Roses, but I freaking loved A Court of Mist and Fury. Everyone talked about how amazing A Court of Mist and Fury is, and I believe the reviews, because they're reviews I've trusted, and I just love this series so much. The beginning, I felt so bad for Farah because she was obviously in shock and going through PTSD from the whole Amarantha problem, and Tamlin is being a fucking asshole. I started hating Tamlin, very fast because, I'm just this guy is, so abusive. Just the way he talks to Farah, she is nothing. He obviously loves her, but he doesn't treat her with respect. He doesn't want her to fight. He doesn't want her out and by herself, but she freaking sacrificed mostly herself with that whole Amarantha thing, and you don't think she is strong enough? What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? And Lucian, I loved Lucian in the first book, but this book, I just wanted to punch him in the face. Why can't you see he is she is deteriorating, and he is not doing anything about it. He's just following Tamlin like his little fucking lapdog. And I wanted to punch him in the face so many times. And I was just and then with the whole wedding, she's like, I can't do this, please someone save me. And then Rhys shows up, and I just love Rhys. And there were so many, I know he was really crazy in the first book, but he had his reasons. I feel I'm not gonna justify them, but he had his reasons. He was Amarantha's whore, and we got to see Rhys's side of the story for many things, and Farrah is still in hate of him, and she has to keep going to because she had this deal with Rhys in the first book that she would spend a week in the night court. And then we meet Mor, who is Rhys's cousin, and I love Mor. She's badass, and all this stuff starts to go down, and then Tamlin ends up trapping Farah, and I literally wanted to punch him because you don't trap a person who has PTSD. She's having nightmares, and Tamlin doesn't notice this at all. He is not getting it. She isn't eating. She is just in pain, but Rhys can see it, and the person who is supposed to love you doesn't even see you're in pain and you're sick, and you can't even paint because of all the issues that you had when you were trying to save the person that you love and the most entire world. And then there's this whole thing with Hybern, he wants to tear down the wall, I think. So the humans, to do with the humans and the Fae, and I'm just what is going on? So after that, when Tamlin trapped her, Mor ends up saving her and bringing her to the night court. So Rhys has this like special home like with his like family, like his court, which includes Cassian, Amren, Azriel, and more. So, I love them all. Like, they're all. Amren is definitely a different type. Like, I think she's not even from this world, apparently. And so she's apparently from a different world. She drinks blood. And, Cassian and Azriel, they're very interesting characters. And Azriel is like this shadow seeker hunter. I really don't know, really. But he's a very interesting character. And Cassian, he's really funny. And, like, I, like, ship him and Nesta, like, so much. So, like, all this stuff is, like, going on. Like, Cassian is helping, Farah train, like, to fight. And Rhys is, like, helping her with her reading and with her powers. And I just really love this book so much because there was so much drama, and I knew Rhys and Farah were gonna get together, but I didn't know when. But I love, like, their little letters between each other. Like, they would send these letters, and it was just so funny. And Rhys would make these, like snide remarks of hitting on her, and then she started, like, really caring about Rhys and, like, not seeing him as a monster and as a person who would hurt her. And I just love Rhys because he does care so much about her in, like, his own way. And he is very just... he's a smartass in, like, so many ways. Like, I love him. And he would do, like, he would, like, say things that are overly, like, sexual, but I thought was funny. So there was this part where they had to get this book. So they had to go to another court, and I forget the guy's name, but, like, Farah had to, like, flirt with the court guy. I forget his freaking name. And anyway, but I don't remember his name, but he was, they had to, like, distract, and they finally get this book that's supposed to, like, so Amren can read it, and, like, she can, like, stop, like, the cauldron or something like that. But they almost drown, and the only reason they didn't drown is because when she was at the spring port, there was these, like, water people, and she helped them, and they, like, helped her. And then there was this point when Rhys and Farah were, like, kind of, like, fully around because they were at this, like, camp, and they stayed at, like, this, like, I don't know, it was like a shelter or place, and they were, like, really cold, and they were doing it for, like, warmth. I say that in quotations because it's like, no, you don't do what you just did for warmth. And there was these moments with Rhys and Farah, and I just love them. So I knew that Rhys was going to be Farah's mate because, like, in the first book, there was like, at the end, there was like this sign. He looked at her, and I'm just like, yep, she is gonna be his mate. And I just felt it. And Tamlin said, like, in the first book, like, being a person's mate is, like, way stronger than marriage. And, like, getting married would be, like, an insult because it is such a strong bond. And when Rhys, he gets shot by ash arrows from the sky, and then he gets taken, and Feyre just goes ballistic and starts slicing these people's throats, and I'm just like, what the fuck? So she traps the Suriel again, and like the Suriel is like, well, to help your mate, my what? Excuse me, what the? And I knew that it was gonna happen, but like I didn't know it was gonna happen that way. Like I thought Rhys was gonna tell her, like, oh yeah, we're mates. And so she helped heal him, and then she's like, so when were you gonna tell me that we're mates? And like she freaks out. She gets really angry because she hasn't like been lied to and yada yada yada. And I'm just like, Farrah, like why are you getting so angry? Like I know like he lied to you, but still. And then she like brings him back and leaves him, and then she tells Mor to bring her somewhere like alone and not to tell Rhys. And she ends up like painting like everyone, like and I thought it was just really beautiful. And then she gets a visit from Rhys, and he like explains everything, like that he was having these dreams way before they met, and it was of Farrah, and he would like see this girl painting, and then when that thing, that like super rapey event in like the first book with Tamlin, that's when he's like, oh, there you are. And I'm just like, I need so much more now. And she's like, I would be honored to be your mate. And then that's when like it went down with like sexy stuff, and I enjoyed it so much. And then this is when things just get crazy. So they have Farrah has to say like this like thing to the cauldron, and and there's these fucking bitch queens who are just fucking bitches. That's all I'm gonna say is, and the whole thing with this big thing that happened, I knew something bad was gonna happen. I just felt it because like Sarah J. Maas just likes to write drama and make me want to throw the book at the wall because I'm just so angry. Like I just wanted no one to die. So because I love everyone in the Night Court, Tamlin can just go away. And so she says this thing, and it was like a trap, and Hybern and Jurian was there, and they shot Azriel with an ash arrow, and he isn't dead, which I'm thankful for because I love him. And Mor is like so upset because like I love her and Azriel. I feel like they're gonna get together because apparently like there was like a lot. I'm gonna go back a little. like, so they wanted to, they, like, were selling, like, Moore's virginity or something like that to, like, this king, but then she visited, Rhys, and she ended up sleeping with Cassian, and, yeah, which was not good, and then, like, her parents, like, freaked out and, like, nailed something to her chest and, like, mostly left her for dead. So, yeah, they're terrible people. And so going back to and then Tamlin is there, and he's like, we're going home. Like, excuse me, no. And so, and I'm gonna go back again, like, the part where she had to, like, get this, like, ring, and apparently was, like, mostly an engagement ring for Farrah, so mostly she had to fight for her engagement ring, and I thought that was, like, really funny, because Rhys was, like, yeah, and they want to get married, and I just thought it was just really cute. And so going back to, like, the crazy event that mostly was just making me, like, turn the pages, like, really fast. Like, I just want to know what happens. So Tamlin is there, and he mostly sold out. Like, he just wants Farrah back, and he wants, like, to kill the rest of, like, the Night Court. And I'm just like, you're a fucking crazy person. Like, what is wrong with you? And, like, you knew that this king wasn't just gonna do that. He had other motives too. And then he shot Azriel, and then Cassian's wings. And I'm just like, oh my god, this can't end well. And I'm just like, and then Farrah is just like, in her head, she's thinking, we're in trouble, we're gonna die, I have to do something. So she fakes, like, that she was, like, possessed, and that she's finally waking up under, like, Rhys's spell. So she tells Hybern to break the bond. Like, not the mating bond, like, their deal, so they can't, like, hear each other. And so he does it, and Rhys is, like, so upset, and it felt like his heart was breaking. But then she goes with Tamlin, and I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? And then we get a part in Rhys's point of view, and then they got because he said to Amren that if they had taken off the glove for her other hand, they would have seen the tattoo, because she is the High Lady of the Night Court now. And I'm just, like, freaking out, because according to Tamlin, there are no High Ladies. And yeah, well, now there are. And so they're equal, and they have, like, the tattoo, and it's just beautiful. So now Farrah has to pretend to be in love with Tamlin in the third book. So I have started A Court of Queens in Ruin. I'm really enjoying it so far. So I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next review. Happy reading. Bye, guys.